playing soccer? I want you to give it some thought. Don't raise your hand. I want you to think, why are you playing soccer? Who'd like to share with the group why they're playing soccer? Evan.
Because I'm good at it and I enjoy it.
Because you're good and you enjoy it. Thank you. Johnny. Well, you have your own answer. Okay. So first of all, with that, when you ask somebody asks you the question why you're doing something, is there a wrong answer?
No.
Are there going to be answers that are similar to somebody else?
Yes.
Is your answer going to be your own?
Yes.
Yes. Okay? It's open to what we call in the world of adults subjectivity. It can be any answer is a good answer. So Johnny, why do you play soccer?
Because I enjoy it and it's really fun to play.
Thank you.
Because I want to get better at it and I enjoy it.
Okay. So let me jump off on that. Okay? It's a good answer. Yours is a good answer. Yours is a good answer. But you included one word that I was hoping somebody had, and that is the word to improve. Come on in and have a seat. The word to improve. Okay. How many of you, since the first day you had me as a coach, do you think that you have improved in playing the game? Raise your hand. Okay. Let's talk briefly about how you've improved. Okay? Now we're going from why to how. How have you improved? Think about that for a few seconds. Don't rush. There's two kinds of people typically. There's the microwaves and there's the ovens. Have you ever heard of that expression?
No.
The microwaves are quick to answer because they have answers readily available. And then there's the stoves. You ever turn a stove on? Doesn't it take a lot longer to heat up? Which one is better, the microwave or the stove? They're both just as good. That's a trick question, by the way. They're both good. They're both good. So don't look down on somebody that's a stove when you're a microwave. If you're a stove, you're just slower to heat up, but you still get hot. All right, so those of you who are stoves and had some time to think, how have you improved? Who'd like to share? The stoves usually don't raise their hands first, so those of you who raise your hand, put your hands down. Let's give the stove some time to raise their hand. Stoves usually, yeah, thank you.
I got more advanced and my skills have got higher.
Skills, okay, can you elaborate a little bit on skills? Elaborate means give me a little more of an example.
Like, I've learned a lot of more skills. Like, I didn't know, like, the Matthew and the Maradona, and now I know them.
Okay, thank you. 1v1 skills that she didn't know, now she knows. Yes?
I improved and got better at my first coach. She just taught us just to kick the ball when we got it. And so I would just kick the ball when I got it. And I improved by just waiting, doing skills, and then I would pass it.
Okay, thank you. You've improved quite a bit, I might add. Yes?
I got better at working with the team because last year it was kind of just like do your own thing, just kick the ball, kind of what Kylie said. So now I know how to like do skills and work with everyone and get open and stuff.
Excellent. Yes?
I learned how to do skills that I didn't know to do before, like the turns.
Turns. Okay. Specifically turns.
I improved on my foot skills, and I definitely improved on my kicks.
Okay, your kicks have gotten better. Johnny?
Improved on my ball handling and my kicks.
Okay. Evan?
I've improved on my kicks and my skills.
Okay. Anybody else want to answer the question how you've improved? Because I'm gonna switch this how to not how have you improved, but how do we continue to improve? In just a second. Robert.
I've learned some skills that I've never known, and I've gotten practice them. I've used them in games, and that's it.
Good. Okay, Gabriel.
Wait, is it like how you get better?
No, not yet, not there yet. I'm still in the how have you improved? This is a very personal question.
Never mind. I had.
Okay? So let me flip the question now. How do we continue to improve? These are the microwaves, but let's go to somebody who hasn't said anything yet. Go ahead, Andres.
By doing touches on our own at home.
By doing touches on our own at home, yes, that's one we improve, yes.
By working on homes and our skills and also using them in games.
Okay, good, yes.
Playing attention in training sessions and learning the skills right so you can do it at home.
Okay,
By practicing.
okay. Majority of you said one thing, but you didn't really say it. And the word is so you learn something by memorizing it. That's one way to learn it. And how do you memorize things? You memorize things by correct. Repetition. We have been repeating the same skills over and over and over since the start of the season. Let me tell you what you guys have been repeating. You've been repeating toe taps forward. Sometimes we do toe taps backward. We've been moving toe taps and moving the ball around left to right, then left to right, then right to left. We've done boxing forward, breaking the ball, dribbling with laces for control, dribbling with laces for speed. We've done scissors, we've done baby V's, push back across the body, push away with the outside of the same foot, the inside of the same foot. We've done turns. We've run what I call the half Maradona, the pullback, the step over, the half moon pivot, push back with the outside of the same foot, half moon pivot, push with the inside of the opposite foot, the pullback Cruyff, the outside cut, the inside cut, the heel turn, the step over, feint, push back with the inside of the foot. We've done fake shots, fake shot push at a 45-degree angle past the defender, fake shot Maradona, fake shot pullback Cruyff. I don't know that I've shown you that one. We've done the Matthews. We've done the reverse Matthews. Do you know how many things we've repeated since the beginning of the season?
A lot. 50.
25, roughly. 25 skills that you've been repeating for the first half of the season. In 1v1s, and you have done many of them, over hundreds of them. Not only have you done them in games, but you've also done it in here in sessions, right? Majority of the time we play 1v1s, not so often do we play 2v2s. You've learned to settle the ball quickly with your first touch. You've learned to keep the ball close to your feet. You've learned to challenge or take on an opponent, which was the opposite of playing kickball. You guys used to play kickball last year, this team in particular. They've changed the way they play. They take on opponents now. They take on opponents as opposed to just kicking the ball away as soon as they get it. They are not first to pass. They attempt to use a skill on beating a defender. Hi guys, come on in and sit down. The other thing you've learned that isn't necessarily a skill, but it's a decision that you have to make is what do you do after you do a skill? What are you supposed to do?
Accelerate.
Accelerate, explode, use your speed. You've also learned that more often than not, how do you score? How do you finish? More often than not, how do you finish into the ball, into the goal? Yes? What do we do when we do 1v1s mostly, when we finish, when we want to finish the ball? Put the ball in the back of the net.
You land your kicking foot. So you land on kicking foot.
No, that's the power kick. I'm talking about how you finish more often than not.
If you're in the box placement.
It's a placement, but it's a simple pass. The majority of the time when you played 1v1s, how did you put the ball in the back of the net?
We dribbled.
You passed it in there. You dribbled it up to the goal and you passed it in. And that's the majority of scoring is going to be passing. Defensively, you learn how to put pressure on your opponent, right? Some of you, not all of you, have learned that you need what? It's another P when you're playing defense. Huh?
Patience.
Patience. The key to being some of the best defenders are the most patient defenders. They wait for the opponent to make a mistake. Where should your eyes be when you're the defender?
On the ball.
The ball. That's a sign of a good defender right there. Okay. You change your speed or you penetrate past the defender once you've done a skill. Those are the things you learn on the 1v1s. And the 2v2s that the area had that we haven't focused in on, that we haven't done repeatedly as much, and that's because I've held it back, is we haven't learned to pass when you sense you need to find space or to penetrate. We haven't learned yet, and I've seen some of you do it, but some of you are still focused on doing the skill and controlling the ball. So you haven't all kept your head on the swivel. Some of us still look down at the ball when we have the ball. And that's some of us, it's many of us. Not just one or two of you. Some of you are still not, it hasn't become. Did I give it to anybody? Here's the goal. Have any of you achieved that in any of the skills that we repeated in the first half of the season?
No.
Have you?
No.
Are you certain? Have any of you mastered any of the skills that you learned since the beginning of the season?
No.
It's interesting. None of you feel like you have. Okay. That's fine. That's okay. Can you achieve mastery?
Yes.
When will you know you have mastered a skill? What's 1 + 1? How did you know that? Easy math, right? How many times have you done that problem in your head?
Once.
Millions of times.
No, I
Okay.
haven't done that in kindergarten.
Repetition, memorization, repetition eventually can lead to mastery. We have not yet reached mastery. I'll tell you this, you may not reach mastery until you are in high school. I just trained for the first time in my career as a coach. I trained a college player this past 2 weeks. I spent a considerable amount of time working one-on-one with a college player. She was a freshman, played at the college Division I NCAA. She needed some help. I knew the dad. The dad said, hey, work with my daughter. I worked with her. She had this when it came to her touch. Her touch was incredible. She was a striker, center forward to be particular. Her ball mastery was high. She'd been playing soccer since she was 5. I started working with her when she was 19. Her mastery level of her touches was excellent. It was incredible. Not only did she have mastery of that, but the other thing that she did is she wanted to do this. She was 19. She had a decent season at the college level. She's playing NCAA Division I. And she wanted to do this. She wanted to improve. Do you know why? Not that any of you should, but you know why she wanted to improve?
There are a lot better players.
At her level, she found out she was actually very, very, this is an abbreviation for a word. Anybody know what that word is?
Average.
Average. I just described to you a very good player, didn't I? She found out she was average. She wasn't the best on her team, and she's certainly by far not the best. In fact, her coaches went up to her and told her, hey, listen, we got plans for you. We're not cutting you. That's the good news. But we need you to improve. And all they did was tell her what they needed her to improve on. They didn't tell her how. I'm going to tell you how we're going to improve. Not only here, but I'm going to talk to you one-on-one, because I'm going to do something that coaches don't do with you guys, and that they don't treat you as students individually. More often than not, soccer coaches treat you guys as a team. As you know, I have not treated you as a team, I have treated you as individuals. And I'm always looking to see how you're improving and getting better as an individual. There are coaches who focus on results. The team's winning, everything's well. The team's losing, not so good. I've told my assistant coach, and he can vouch for me, how often do I care about the score?
Never.
Hardly ever. That wasn't me 10 years ago, by the way. I used to be very much into winning. So I've changed because I look to improve to be a better coach. I am going to tell you today, starting today, in about 5 minutes, we are going to improve because we're going to change the way we train. So what you were used to doing for training, that was the first half of the season. What we're going to do here on is going to be different. So this is me telling you how we train is going to change. we are going to focus less on individual 1v1 skills and more on how we play collectively as a group. You're going to hear me encourage you to pass more. You're going to learn how to do two-touch. You're going to learn how to do one-touch. You're going to learn how to do overlapping runs. You're going to learn how to do triangles. You're going to learn how to give and go. You're going to learn these things, and you're going to learn how to pass into space, which is like crazy. Coach, normally you want me to pass it to a teammate, but you want me to pass to space? Yes, I want you to pass to space. Because why? That is what they do, and that is one way to play and pass the ball to space. To an open space where one of your teammates is running into. That is a technique that's used in soccer. It's a high-level technique. It's going to take you guys a while to get it. You're not going to get it overnight. But you're going to learn to pass to space. Not randomly just kicking it. I knew that was coming. Not randomly just kicking it, but deliberately kicking it into space, or otherwise passing it into space so a teammate can make a run into that space. You are also going to learn, and you're not going to master, by the way, you're not going to master this, but you're going to learn how to make diagonal passes, lofting the ball into the air, seemingly as if to no one. But they're going to be diagonal passes that are going to change the point of attack. That is also something we're going to do. That's different than, hey, just clear it. How many times have you heard that? How many times have you heard a parent say that to you? Just clear it! And what happens right after you clear it?
The other team gets the ball back.
The other team gets the ball back, right? So we're going to go away from just clearing, and we're going to actually deliberately make diagonal passes to space so you can start the counterattack. That is another technique you're going to learn. These are all things that are called group interplay. Are they individual skills? Yes, they are. But they happen to involve how we play as a team. That is what we're going to change. Now, I've got 3 more minutes of talking to do, then we're going to start. What I'm going to tell you is I mentioned it briefly, but I've always been interested in wanting to make sure that I give you feedback that you pass this around. Look at this and pass this around. This is just for you to see what I'm going to be handing out to you guys. Either this Thursday or actually probably next Tuesday. I'll need time. I'll give myself until next Tuesday. No, it's not for you to hold. It's for you to read and let others see. What you're seeing there is the first version of what I'm calling a progress report. Do not confuse it with the report card. It is not a report card. It is a progress report to help you and your parents know where you stand. It has a list of skills that you have been evaluated on, some of which we've covered and some of them we have not. So some of them have, some of them are things that the game itself could have taught you, should have taught you, but probably didn't teach you. Okay? But you guys have each now, I'm going to tell you this right now because I'm being honest and transparent. Each of you has been evaluated. I have a rating. I've evaluated each one of you individually on these skills, and I'm going to let you know where you stand. There's going to be 3 places where you stand, okay? So I want you to understand it when you get it so you don't get too hung up on it. Either you need improvement, you're okay, or you're excellent. I'm going to tell you this right off the front. There's not that many excellents. Excellence probably close to this. You guys understand that? How many of you guys have achieved this? That's good that you're feeling that way. I like that you're feeling that way. But how many of you have achieved this in any of those skills that we're talking about? Not many of you, okay? So mastery level means that you're ready for probably to move on to professional games. If you're at a mastery level across the board, you should be not playing here. I would be the first person to recommend that you go play for the Earthquakes and or one of the ladies team or play even in the National Olympic team. If I discover that one of you has that level of talent, I would be recommending you for the Olympic development program. I don't see that yet. Not yet. A little early for some of you. Some of you guys are tracking in that direction. You're heading in that direction. But here's the last thing I want to tell you, okay? You guys are going to get those. Has everybody seen them?
No.
Just a snapshot of what they look like.
I have not finished.
You're going to get your own next Tuesday. I didn't have time to finish doing what I needed to do. in order to give them to you. So you're going to get it next Tuesday. So here's the last thing I want to tell you before we start. We're going to start something new today. So you're going to need to be patient because it's going to be messy. We're not doing individual skills, not to start off. I'm going to start introducing you to some of the higher level stuff. Here, give it to me. But here's what I want you to do, okay? Some of you guys shared with me your answers on why you play soccer. But I want to leave you with one thing that you need to hear from me, because I want you to make sure that you understand this. And I need your attention on this, so I need those of you who are fidgeting to stop for a moment. Because this is the most significant thing I've left for the last thing to say. I want you right now, for the moment, for the next 10, 15 seconds, to start dreaming. I want you to have a dream about where you're going to play in the future. You need to have a dream. Because my desire, my dream for you, is that you be inspired to continue to play soccer for the rest of your life. I would love it if I heard from you guys as an adult, you came up to me and said, hey coach, I'm still playing. I'm playing intramural, I'm playing adult soccer, I'm having fun playing the game. I can't predict that some of you guys are going to play college. I don't know if some of you guys are going to make it to the National Olympic team. Maybe one of you guys here will. I have no clue. But my desire is to inspire you to keep playing the game and play it all your life. If you can do that, I'd be very happy because you're going to enjoy it. Now, the only reason why I don't play it still is because I could get myself seriously injured. Otherwise, I'd be playing it right now. Okay? So the last time I played, I decided I was going to hang up my cleats and just focus on coaching because I want to train the next generation of players, and that's you guys. I want you to dream. What is it? What's your desires? You just say you see yourself playing at the varsity level in your local high school. Is that your desire? Is that your dream? Is your dream to play on a college soccer team? St. Mary's College just went to the NCAAs. They had a fantastic season to finish number 4 nationally ranked. That's a local college around here. Stanford, top of their, they had an incredible season. They're local. They're right around the corner from here. If you want to play college soccer, it's 2 amazing programs. Local programs. Maybe college soccer isn't it. Maybe your dream is to play professionally. There are leagues, not only in the U.S., but there are leagues in Europe and in South America, for that matter, where girls get to play in basketball. You don't have to just play in English Premier League, Bundesliga. There are other leagues where you can play. You can play in the Mexican League. They take American players, by the way. Yeah. So I want you to dream. You don't need to share that dream with me. You don't need to share that dream with your teammates. But I want you to have a dream. Today it's a famous day that we celebrate today because someone said that they had a dream. So today I want you to dream about what you want to do with soccer. It's very important for me. It's very important for you. Martin Luther King Jr. had a brilliant speech, and the title of the speech is, I Have a Dream. I have a dream. Well, you need to have a dream as far as what you're going to do with soccer. You guys understand? All right, you guys ready to play some soccer?
Yeah.